So let's visit the Ekuhurleni West TVET College campuses, located in the metro right next to Johannesburg, and it was formerly kind of known as the East Rand. And Ekuhurleni actually has two sets of TVET colleges, Ekuhurleni West, which we're going to now, and Ekuhurleni East, which you can kind of see on the one side. And we're flying directly into Ekuhurleni. Now this is actually three townships as a whole. You've got Thokoza on your left, you've got Katlehong in the middle, and you've got Flyover on your right. And it used to be known as the Durban Spruit, and you can actually see that river running through the middle there. Now, when these townships were set up in the 1950s, they really were for migrant workers. So you had these hostile dwellers, often Zulu, and there were huge antagonisms between them and the residents. And this caused massive struggle and violence during the late 80s and early 90s. And that's why Ekuhurleni is now called the place of peace, because we've managed to survive that period. And it's over here that we have the Ekuhurleni campus. And it's set up right next to the Natal Spruit, and you can see the school for the deaf right next to it. Now over here, it's a multi-purpose campus, so you can do business studies and office administration and financial management and human resource management. You can also do electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and the international computers driver's license. Now, the huge demand for labor was not just from mining, it was also from manufacturing and then engineering. And you can see that all road industrial park over there, right between the historically white Alberton and the historically black Ekuhurleni. Now, the Alberton campus used to be the technical high school, and you can still see it looks very much like a high school. And it's over here that you can really do a combination of business studies, management and marketing on the one side, combined with hospitality and tourism on the other side. I actually taught just up the road in the Bracken Downs Primary School for a couple of months, a very enjoyable part of my early teaching career. Now we're going to pull out to the south, and you're going to be able to see how all the campuses are set up. And the way that I understand it is you've got the southern areas around Alberton with the huge Ekuhurleni township over here, and then in the middle, running on the same line as the Gold Reef, you've got Germiston and Boksburg, and then stretching northwards you've got Kempton Park, and then further on you've got Tembisa. And it's right on the Gold Reef that you have the Germiston campus. And I've chosen a line where you can very clearly see all the old mines stretching forward over here, and you actually have one of the world's largest refineries of gold over here. In fact, most of the gold in South Africa has been purified over there and the gold bars poured. On top of that, you have the largest railway junction in South Africa over there, both north, south and east, west, chasing all the gold and all the other industrial products across South Africa. And the area to your left is where we have Dukat. Now that was the historical black spot where we had Bantu people and colored people and Chinese and Indian people all staying there, and they were forced out into Katlehong. So now we're flying over that amazing railway junction, and we're flying to the Germiston campus. Now this has got a brilliant automotive workshop. You can do mechatronics over here. It's also the corporate center, so it's very nicely set up. But you can do all sorts of things here, like business studies and management and marketing. You can do ed and development here. And also, interestingly enough, you can do aircraft maintenance. There's also electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. So let's pull out so we can get a vision of Germiston. I want to give you a sense of just how central and how huge the infrastructure and the industry is here. So you've got that massive rail network running north, south, east, west. You've got the huge highways, which I used to go to when I used to go down to Durban on holidays. You've got the Rand refinery on your right. I don't think there's another landscape like this on earth, with these huge mine dumps, some now reclaimed with all the residual gold stripped away and the rest dumped at Daggafontein. All these informal settlements setting up around the mines, even though there's huge dust storms flying towards the Boksburg campus, which is right next to Riga Park, which used to be a mixed settlement called Sturtonville at one stage, and they're black people and Indian people and coloured people all lived together. But the black people were forced into Vosloorus, the Indian people forced into Actonville, and the coloured people stayed here, and it became Riga Park. And it's right here, actually right next to the town centre on the one side with the beautiful Boksburg Dam, that you have the Boksburg campus located right next to the railway station. Now this used to be the old Boksburg Technical College, and it's really got a state-of-the-art IT workshop. And over here you can do information technology and computer science, but you can also do electrical infrastructure and construction. You can do engineering and related design. And if you wanted to, you could also do things like marketing. Now I want to do a radical pull out to give you a full sense of how this college is actually set up. And check out the Gold Reef running on a west to east axis with Joburg on the one side. And you can see Ekuhurleni on the south with Alberton, and then stretching over the Gold Reef with Germiston and Boksburg, jumping over Oliver Tambo Airport with all the huge industrial developments and factories over there, flying into Kempton Park, and immediately we can see we're now in an historically white area again. Now this was also an old technical college, and it's really famous for its tourism site. So you've got wonderful simulated enterprises in tourism. You can do things like hospitality over here, and also transport and logistics, which is really popular. They do electrical engineering and mechanical engineering over here as well. And interestingly enough, they offer avionics. So you do that at Kempton, and you do the aircraft maintenance one at Germiston. So really good campus. Now, just like Alberton and Germiston and Boksburg had Ekuhurleni stretching all the way out next to supply the much needed black labour, so on the other side of Kempton Park you have this huge township of Tembisa. Now this was really started up in around about 1957. And black people were resettled from Alexandra, from Edenvale, from Kempton Park, from Midrand and from Germiston. And it was a beautiful area at that stage. They had beautiful forests and trees and lakes. Currently it's been hectically overpopulated and under-resourced. But it's over here that you have the Tembisa campus. So this is the main area where you can do civil engineering and building construction at NCV level. And that really involves construction planning, plant and equipment, materials, carpentry, roof work, masonry, and how to supervise. You can also do the other engineering qualifications in electrical infrastructure construction, engineering and related design. And you can also do information technology and computer science over there. And that gives us first sight of this really good college with around 16,000 students, 500 staff, who really doing good work currently in COVID times with all sorts of online developments, huge assistance with study guides and smartboard technology, and helping the students with online platforms, huge simulation enterprise offices across all the campuses. And I want to pull over northwards this time, over Pretoria, and you can see the Midrand with that huge development stretching all the way from Joburg, getting to Pretoria now. And Ekuhurleni West Campus stretching all the way from Ekuhurleni in the south to Tembisa in the north, with Germiston and Boksburg and Kempton Park in the middle, over that exhausted Gold Reef, now with Africa's workshop, with industrial and engineering and manufacturing sites, with the airport over there and the huge infrastructure pushing outwards with development across the whole of the southern African region.